This is a Thunder Game Report.
Hi, I'm Randy Renner. A long practice today at the Integris Health Thunder Development Center after that loss last night to the New Orleans Pelicans. Thunder had a lot of things to work on. We had a chance to talk about that with head coach Scott Brooks and also Nick Collison, and we asked the coach about the game coming up Sunday against the Utah Jazz. We begin with Scott Brooks.
Yes, I thought our guys did some good things last night. Defensively, we're still, have to understand where we need to be at all times. That's something that's hard for a young player, is to pick things up so quickly and to be in the right spot, because you're counted on every possession. But I think Steven did a good job last night. He did a good job of protecting the basket, did a good job of being around the basket when needed. And he has offensive skills that we like. He can roll, he can catch, and he can finish around the rim.
It seemed like you guys got some threes in the corner, passing out of the high post. Is that a product of spacing or just good passing from the bigs?
I think it's a product of us continuing to evolve and get better. I think we had 8, if my memory is correct. We had 8 corner threes, which is a high number. That's something that is we focus on because of our spacing, and we want to continue to do that. Those are great shots. Those are shots that you should be able to make 40% of the time.
You got Collison over there shooting corner threes. Is that part of the new game plan?
Yes, it is. He hasn't had much success in practice yet, but we're still working on it.
Speaking of corner threes, where does Thabo rank in that? Because he could have taken one last night. He was on the court.
Yeah, Thabo is
in the last seconds. To tie the game.
Yeah, Thabo is one of our better corner threes shooters, and something that we're going to continue to work on, and he has to continue to put himself in that position. But I like Thabo's threes. I think even on one side, I think he was a 57% shooter from that spot.
You've got Utah in here on Sunday, and then, of course, you open the regular season with them like 10 days later. Will you adjust your game plan a little bit because of that proximity? That's a little unusual to play a team in preseason you're going to open with.
Yeah, both teams at that time, October 30th, we'll know each other pretty well. I don't think you're going to be able to hide too much. I'm sure they realize KD's a pretty good player, and that we're going to play him quite a few minutes. Not quite 3,000 in the first game, but maybe during the season we'll play him 3,000 minutes.
Are Steven Adams' developmental league minutes dwindling as we speak?
Say that again?
Did you plan on using him in Tulsa a lot more 2 weeks ago than you might end up using him?
No, I think he was going to play minutes. It's just the exhibition seasons. It's a great way to play guys that are new to the team, guys that haven't played a lot of minutes. So see what they can do, and also different combinations. I still have to figure out what's our best combination, whether on the starting team or the guys coming off the bench, or even during the game. You can mix match the starters and the guys that come off the bench to make it a productive unit. I think with KD, we have that luxury that he can play multiple positions and with different lineups and different groups.
Let me ask you a different way. Did you see him spending half the season in Tulsa, and now do you see him spending less than that?
It's something that we never talked about. We just focus on what we do here, and then if players go down or play in the D League in Tulsa, that decision is made during that time. But right now, I'm not even going that way with any of our guys. We like to have our guys here because they have to understand what we do and how we do it. And it's great for them to have a good chemistry with the players that are here, or the new guys, or the guys that are trying to make the team.
How much more scoring do you need out of Serge this season?
I think he's improved in that every year. It's not we need a big jump, but just continue to improve on the offensive end, whether catching the ball, making the right reads, or continue to shoot. I don't think he can shoot the ball as well as he did last year. If he can stay at that clip for the rest of his career, that's going to be historical numbers, because he doesn't miss shots from 17, 18 feet. Scoring, I see that he will have another jump this year. I don't know how much, but we still want to score the basketball as a group, and Serge is a big part of the way how we score.
But rebounding, it's been 7.5, 7.6, 7.7 last 3 years. Is that acceptable, or you want it higher?
Surges?
Yes.
I think he can get up there in the 8 range. Our guards do a great job of rebounding, so we rebound as a team. Our point guard and our twos are good rebounders. So there's less to go around, and at that position, I mean, I'm defending Serge because I think it's factual. At that position, there's a lot of times you're guarding shooting 4s that are out in the 3-point line. So the traditional, the 5 and the 4s have to be your leading rebounders. It's different now because there's so many great 3-point shooters at that position.
Now you're down to your final preseason games. Basketball's a lot less than football, but they do their 3rd preseason game, they're pretty much dress rehearsal. Is there anything like that in this sport?
I think every team is different. Every organization is different, and also every team is different from the standpoint of where they are as a team. We have a pretty good mix of young players and veteran players, so I get to throw different lineups out there and not have to worry about is Kevin's confidence going to be all right going into Utah. I'm not thinking that 5 or 6 years ago we were really focusing on we had to get better every single preseason. The guys that are going to play the first game. But that's not the case anymore, but we still want to play good basketball no matter who's out there.
Serge had 5 assists the other night. Nick's always been a good passer. In your offensive system, how important is it for your bigs to be good passers?
Well, I think it's important to have multiple playmakers, and Serge is added to that. Nick has made a jump last season at that spot with him in the lineup, and he has a good relationship. Hopefully he can continue to have one with our wing players. But Serge has improved in that area. There's no question that's an area that he needed to improve on. I think he came back much better at making those decisions with the ball. But finishers are not just about Kevin and Russell and Reggie attacking the basket. Finishers are about Tabo getting to the right spot and making his shot, Serge getting to the spots and making his shots. And we have a team full of those guys.
Anything else? Derek Fisher's already announced, this is his last season. Is his career kind of properly, appreciated?
By his peers, absolutely. You talk to everybody in this building, every player in the locker room will say nothing but great things about him, and it's all because he has earned that. The guy is having an incredible career. I'm not so sure he's going to retire at the end of the year, but the way he's able to play and keep his body in shape and mentally stay in it and still have a love for the game doesn't happen often. So what we're seeing is an incredible athlete competing at the highest level against some of the best players at his age is just phenomenal.
Thanks, Coach.
I think we had stretches where we were really good and stretches where we were pretty bad, particularly defensively. So I think we're encouraged by some things, but we still have a lot of work to do. Our young guys are trying hard. They're still making some mistakes because a lot of it's new to them. But I've been encouraged and impressed with the work that those guys have done early.
How important is it for this offense, just the flow of the offense, for bigs to be able to pass out of the high post? You guys got a lot of corner threes last night off of bigs passing out of that area.
Yeah, with the way the NBA is, we play so much pick and roll. We do too. Usually you get 2 defenders on the ball, and that first pass out is usually to a big, and you have to make a decision. So we work on that a lot. Gotten a lot better in that over the last few years, and it's a big part of what we do.
Nick, obviously it didn't happen yesterday, but you, along with Jeremy, you guys on the floor together, it seems like that relationship is blossoming. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, we're trying to he's trying to find his way, and we're trying to figure out the best way to get him involved in the offense, and a lot of that's going to be playing some 2-man game with me, and so it's a work in progress, and the more easy shots we can get him out of the offense where he's moving and catching the ball and not having to create something against a set defense, the better off he'll be, the better off we'll be.
Is that a conversation that you guys have, or is that something that just happens because you play more together?
We talk about it a lot, work on it a lot. It's important where he catches the ball, where I catch the ball. Those things are important, and that makes all the difference in the type of shot that we get. So there's a lot that goes into that, and we'll keep working on it through the season. I think hopefully with us, we'll be a much better team late in the season than we are now. It's a year where we have to continue to work and keep improving throughout the year.
Do you feel like your communication on defense is getting better?
I think so. That's something that builds throughout the season. I think particularly for a younger player like Steven in particular, he's learning how to play and learning the coverages and all these things, and he also has to communicate them. That's a lot to handle as a young player, so he's gotten a lot better at that. But I think as the year goes on, we'll get more comfortable, and with that comes the communication.
Which type of coverages are you guys having the most breakdowns in?
Pick and roll coverages. I would say that would be on the sides and in the middle.
Back to the decision making, the high post. How much does spacing and relocating help you guys make those decisions among the wing players when they space and relocate?
Yeah, the spacing is important. If we have a guy in the corner, we have a guy up on the slot, and we're spaced out perfectly, then those decisions are a lot easier. There's a lot less traffic in the lane, and the pass becomes obvious, I think. So that's when we get really good spacing, that's when we have less turnovers, because it's obvious pass, easy pass.
You need more points out of Surge this year?
I think we need better execution throughout our offense. Like I said, as it related to Jeremy, I think we need to get more shots, more baskets out of good offense, not having to create offense. So Surge will get a lot of those like the rest of our guys. But we're not going to give the ball to Surge and say, go score. That's not good offense for us. There's very few guys in the league who are good at that. You know, even Kevin, who's probably the best scorer in the world, we still got to get him shots out of the offense. We can't say, here's the ball, go score. It's too hard. So I think all of our guys, if we execute better, we all get better shots, everybody's going to be better offensively.
Thanks, Nick.
Yep.
Always great answers from Nick Collison. If you want to know what's going on and get into some details, he is the best guy to talk to. Thunder will take the day off tomorrow. No practice on Saturday, and perhaps they're still thinking about it. Probably no shoot-around on Sunday. The team will be back in action, of course, inside the Peak. The Utah Jazz will be in town. That is a 6 o'clock tip-off, remember, and we will have the video gear inside the arena. You will hear Scott Brooks' thoughts pregame and, of course, postgame reaction as well. So keep it right here on ThunderGameReport.com.